Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today's video is a special plan with me for a back plan with me because I had my Christmas lineup set up for this year already, but this kit called Twas the Night from Dash of Sun is so special that I needed to use it this year and not hoard it for next year because, again, I don't want to run into the problem of these gorgeous kits coming out and I can't use them because I have no room. So I bought literally everything for this kit, or this collection is the more accurate term. The only thing I know for sure I didn't buy were the small florals or the regular florals because I've been gravitating more towards bouquets, and the what is that thing called? The deco and boxes add-on. And the functional add-on, but I never purchased the functional add-on. So that is the game plan. I do want to take a second to wish everybody a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas if this goes up in time, which it should, because it's going to go up on Christmas Day. And I hope that this holiday season is treating everybody well. So, on to what is happening on the paper. So, when Chelsea was designing this kit in the PR chat, someone had asked what the bottom washi was going to look like. And in my head, I was like, do another night sky scene because how stunning would that look? But she responded with that it was going to contain layering elements from the box that has a little mouse on it. And I was like, that's okay. And she asked, unless other people have other ideas. And I was like, so is there any way you can throw a night sky scene in here? Like, you don't have to change your bottom washi, like the thicker one. You could use it in the torn paper elements. Because I don't want to completely derail whatever you have done now, but look, it would be so stunning to have another night scene. And it would be so exciting for me to have another night scene to put in my date cover area. And Chelsea took that idea and implemented it, and I'm so ecstatic because now I got to do another spread with a night scene in my date cover area, which I've completely talked through, but it's relatively simple. I did, lay the full length washi down, then underneath it I layered the plaid looking torn paper one with a little bit of a gap so I could put the lace washi underneath that. Just so that we still had some of that plaid peeking underneath. I did debate whether I wanted to bring in the torn paper foiled one, but I felt like that might have been too much, and I think this was the right path. Onto my sidebar, which is honestly unplanned. I use the swatch from the deco kit, layered a script over it, and I knew I wanted to create some sort of little moment. At first I was playing with the ideas of the kids in the bed, but it just didn't work out. And then I saw the kids looking out the window, so I laid I knew I wanted to put that down somewhere, but I didn't want to put it next to the date cover area. It just it was too boxy for that area. So that's why we pulled on the chair. And then we had Santa flying over past the window as if he already flew over. So that was my concept for the date cover, not the date cover area, the sidebar. Then underneath, I had to figure out how to frame out the bottom since I've already used a majority of my washies, and I didn't want to pull in the floral one from the sampler, and I didn't want to pull in the garland looking one because it felt like that would look weird in the bottom. So I pulled in the second foiled washi and just layered the torn paper looking one over it. And then the next task was trying to figure out how to build out this bottom area because I knew I wanted to use as many of the elements as I could. Trust me, I have a lot of leftovers left. You're gonna see it all at the end. and I used a lot. Keep in mind, I have 3 sheets of the alcohol inks because I love them that much, and I only use like 1 sheet. I could have gone a little crazy, but I didn't. So I think I determined I was going to do kind of like a scenic type of thing. And since I had a lot of transparent matte elements, I didn't want the line to show through. So I decided to white out that area and begin to build something. What it was, I didn't know yet until I started looking at the stickers and just like let my brain put it together. You see me pulling the sleeping puppy. I tried to pull in that sleeping puppy like 4 different times and it just never worked. So first thing I noticed was off the foiled sampler this really detailed fireplace scene. So I pulled that in to serve as my starting point to build around this. And since it's foiled and doesn't have a background element, I pulled in the alcohol inks just to provide some point of, something of interest behind there. Then I pulled in one of the stamps that had the Christmas tree in the background with the dinner, even though there's a Christmas tree in the other side. It's fine. People have multiple Christmas trees in their houses. I don't. I only have one. um, we actually, in fact, just put up the ornaments like 3 days before Christmas. 4 days. 4 days before Christmas. So that tells you how prepared I am for all of this to happen. But that was kind of where I left that first half of the spread. Then for the second half of the spread, I wanted to make sure I made use of the full boxes, because that is one thing with these kind of larger deco elements. It's hard to find ways to incorporate your full boxes. So I pulled in, my first thought was to pull in the mouse, the one with the mouse on it, and then pull in the puppy somehow because they were both sleeping. But again, I'm going to pull them back up and then we're going to start to build something else around this. And I think I ultimately decided not to go with this. I pulled in another Christmas tree. Just cuz like I don't know. That's why I picked up the box with the presents on it. And that just seemed to make the most sense to put the Christmas tree down as if the presents were under the Christmas tree, which meant that I had to take the dog out because he was just not going to fit. He's not going to fit. And then, honestly, I remember what I did on the other side. I didn't really have an idea. I was like, well, so how do I fill out this other half? I need something large. And I picked up the house. And I said, you know what? Screw it. It doesn't have to like tell a story from left to right. It just has to look interesting. In my opinion, it just has to look interesting. And to me, this looks really interesting. Um, but I guess it kind of does tell the story, like the kids in the bedroom or they're looking out the window, and then you have like as if you're walking through the house down past the dinner area, then past the fireplace, and that's when you notice all of the trees and the presents, and then as if you're finishing up outside. So I guess that's kind of the story I was telling in this bottom washy scene area. So 100% like makes sense, not necessarily, but to my planner, I can just make things look pretty without it needing to make a lot of sense, right? Um, I really enjoyed using those night um, alcohol inks, and she also had some torn papers that had night sky elements on them, so it was really like nice to have a different variety of those elements to pull in, and then just adding a little bit of sparkle with my, I don't remember what this one's called, but they're like twinkle clusters from Starlight Paper Studio. And then just going back, because my sidebar felt a little, I don't want to say naked, but it felt a little white. If you know me, I don't really like a lot of white space. So I came back and added some color and added some foil to kind of just zhuzh it up, make it look a little more interesting. And here's me trying to figure out what else from the foiled sampler I could pull in, because there's some pockets of white that I just wanted to fill in because I can't just leave it alone. So that's the sidebar. I think we're gonna move on to the full boxes. So I paired the scene where Santa is flying above the house with the special freebie that you got on release weekend, which had the little boy looking out um, through the doorway instead of the little girl, because I have a little boy. Um, and I felt like those two kind of went together, as if, the kid heard Santa and then he came down and was like, oh, look, Santa came. So I'm just layering a bunch of alcohol inks behind it and just like playing around with the elements, because when I do tilted boxes, I kind of have to think, well, I don't kind of have to, I have to think about the kind of white space or the negative space it leaves behind or creates. So I had this awkward spot up above on Tuesday, which could have fit a full box, but like aesthetically, I didn't think, not a full box, a like a label box or whatever, but aesthetically, I didn't want to put one up there. I wanted to bring more decorative elements, especially since I had a lot of twinkle and a lot of stars. So why not bring those elements in to kind of make it feel like the outside, like there's the outside and the inside, the night sky on the outside. I don't know if that's making 100% sense, but that was kind of my thought process, was to use these rich alcohol inks to really um, frame my full boxes, because otherwise it feels like they're kind of floating without anything to ground them. And then since I did a tilted box scene up there, I decided to use the recipe full box and just leave it there. And this is a fun fact. That foiled writing there is the actual recipe from Chelsea's family. Like, I believe it's like the actual like handwritten recipe from her family that she decided to throw into the full box, which like adds like this great personal touch. So on the other side, I made sure to line up, because sometimes, hold on, let me finish my statement here. I made sure to line up the bottom of this clear backing with the um, bottom of the that center, like those faded lines. And if it looks like nothing's happening, that's because I timed my pause and unpause backwards. And I think I realized it after this segment that I had them backwards. So I was supposed to pause when I unpaused. So, but what I was saying is that sometimes I'll start to use the clear backing, and then I'll like not line it up anywhere. And then when I go to like put it down, or when I come back to kind of add more elements on the clear paper, I'm like, where was this supposed to sit in the first place? Like, of course, my head had an original thought, but to precisely return to the same spot every time was a bit of a challenge. And then um, I partnered the box with the train with the little village scene here that has like the hoof prints from the reindeer. And I just thought those two boxes paired very well together. And I pulled in the Merry Christmas font script from the foil sampler, because I was like, I know it's like Merry Christmas, da da da, and to all a good night, and I couldn't remember what the rest of the statement was, and I figured it out later. It's Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. So I guess if there was one thing I could change, is maybe I should be like, yo, Chelsea, make this Merry Christmas to all, so that it can pair with the and to all a good night. But probably the original concept was to possibly use it as like a foiled script for like Christmas Day. So that's on me to for like not like thinking that far ahead. And then I didn't pull any full boxes into the Sunday column because the house deco kind of took up a lot of space, so I didn't feel the need to balance it out. And I knew that I was going to be bringing in a lot of torn papers and a lot of decorative elements into my day by day. So I know, like when I stopped here, I was like, there needs to be something in this. Oh, it's not Sunday. I forgot to say what these dates were, but in the far left, far right column where Sunday normally sits, I know I had to pull something in there to kind of balance the spread out, because right now it's not super balanced, but I knew I was going to be adding elements in to my spread. So I didn't feel the need to mess with it at this point until we started laying down the stickers for the day by day. which we are now into. So this is actually a spread for 2023. We don't start on a Monday. We start on Tuesday, December 19th. Because again, I kind of try to frame the more important events when I do these back plan with me's, and my birthday is on December 19th, so I did want to call that out in this kit. So let's go through the day by day. You can figure out the rest of the dates as we go through. On Tuesday, December 19th, it was my birthday. We went to dinner at Hook and Ladder, which is this very fancy plate, like easily $150 a person per plate, per person, not per plate. One of the best meals I've ever had in my life, but wallets were crying afterwards. But it was really nice because, first full year, not my first birthday after I had Bub, but my second birthday after I had him, my first real, like my first birthday out of postpartum. So it was nice to, get dressed up and celebrate and do something nice for myself. Got myself a nice little cocktail. It was very cute. On Wednesday, December 20th, just gotta make sure my dates are right. We had our Secret Santas at work. This was a true Secret Santa where the idea or the goal was that you would get the gift for the person, and then you did not need to reveal yourself. You could if you wanted to, but a majority of us decided not to reveal ourselves. And I remember, I think I figured out who mine was, but they didn't disclose whether I was right or not. But just knowing them, and yeah, people know I have cats. But see, this is the thing. It was a cat wine, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? So we did our Secret Santa at work. I pulled in a torn paper from the kit and a foiled like a window from the Pretty Pinko I got in a D-stash, and the foiled gift tags were from Nikki Plus 3 during her Christmas sale this year. And then the second thing I marked was that we got a free lunch. I don't remember why we got a free lunch, but we got a free lunch that day. On Thursday, December 21st, I decided to pull in pieces of the one of the not garlands. Well, it is a garland, but it is for a piece of the washi from the washi sampler, which was the garland to mark that it was the first day of winter. Hello, happy winter solstice, which did just happen actually. As of I'm recording this on the 22nd, really cutting it close. So that just happened yesterday, and I didn't even realize it. We do have snow on the ground here, surprisingly. We don't usually get a white Christmas. And I believe it's supposed to stay below freezing, so there might be some snow on the ground when it's Christmas time. And I kind of framed the box with some gold snowflakes just to call out the fact that that was for the solstice. Then I guess it was very important, or I guess nothing was really happening. We read with Bub that night, which I marked with the little storybook. Reading is definitely one of our favorite bedtime rituals. So it's like we do it every night, but I guess when I don't have a lot to mark, I call it out. On Friday, December 22nd, I didn't call out this box, but this full box right here at the top is the one with the kids and the dreams of candy and sugar plums dancing in their heads. I said that very badly, but hopefully you understood what I meant. We left work. We got to leave work early because this was the Friday before Christmas. So my boss said that we could leave early this day, which was fantastic because I don't know if that's going to happen this year since Christmas Day is on a Wednesday. And I only get Christmas Day and Christmas Eve off, so we'll see what happens. And I also got a Frappuccino from Starbucks that day. On Saturday, December 23rd, we watched Klaus, which I did talk about in my Bujo with me for Plan Miss, and we actually did just watch it today on the 22nd, not the 23rd, but we watched it today. Great Christmas movie, great Christmas it's great, it's beautifully animated. I love that movie, makes me happy. So we watched Klaus on that day, and I just decided to pull in the Christmas tree just to mark something Christmas related. I didn't have anything like Christmas movie related. So it's my planner. I can do whatever I want. Does it really matter what icon goes with it? No, not necessarily. So in this bottom area, I originally thought about pulling in another like day by day item, but I had this foiled music sampler script, not script, foiled music sheet thing here, and I didn't want to cover that up. So then I decided to pull in one of the quotes from the kit, and it says, hope, love, and a little bit of magic, and then just fill in the space with a little bit of foil. I did pull in the like the little Christmas village or the snow covered village from the Dash of Sun freebie, because if you saw earlier, I was trying to pull it in. I was like, I don't know if this makes sense here. And I it's just funny because a few days before I was like, I don't know if I want to put this here or not. And lo and behold, I went ahead and did it. So on to Christmas Eve, which I actually will not call out specifically, but like we know what December 24th is, right? So December 24th, we had Christmas at my in-laws specifically. So my family, my immediate, when I say my immediate family, I mean like everyone who I grew up with in the same house, which is like 10 other people, like my aunt, my uncle, my cousins. So we got to spend Christmas with my husband's parents. They literally live like 7 minutes from each other, so it's not like that far of a trek. So she hosted Christmas dinner for us. And then what is the second thing I marked? Put out presents. Oh, this must be presents for like the next day, because we were having Christmas Day at our place. So we probably made sure that we put out the presents for Bub and for everybody else under the tree, just to make sure everything was there. We didn't wrap the presents, we just put them out. So then on Christmas Day, and when I laid this paper down, I realized that that says 15 and not 25, and I don't know how I made that mistake, but it's a good thing I noticed it. Originally, I was like, let's layer an alcohol ink behind here, and then I started taking a look at the foiled sampler. And I was like, oh, we could just use the Santa Claus foil here. But then it doesn't make sense for me to have this blue alcohol ink back here because Santa don't wear blue, Santa wears red. So then we pull a red alcohol ink um, just to, tie those two pieces together and make it make more sense. I probably could have left the blue, but in my head, that just would have been like, not an eyesore, but that would have been like, why would you do this? So that's my way. I guess I could layer Merry Christmas somewhere in here. But that not you'll see later I try to bring a box in, and I'm like, it covers up the holly and I don't want to do that. So I mean, it's December 25th, like that's Christmas, right? We all know that that's Christmas. Um so since we were hosting Christmas at our place, um and since it was the first Christmas I had outside of postpartum, I decided to, get nice, get dressed up, put on some makeup, look cute. Um, that's what I used to mark that. And then, you know, family events can lead to a lot. So, family event happens, and I just polished up an entire bottle of wine that night. No shame in that one. Just, finished up an entire bottle of wine. So that is the spread. I'm just going to go in since, inserts, I can decorate the center area just because, like, for me, I will probably usually always do the full length look unless I want to keep it like super, super simple. So it doesn't really make much sense to leave this center area um, without any stickers on it. So I'm coming in and just putting in a bunch of the deco just to make it look pretty. No rhyme, no reason. Just picked up a sticker, looked at it, and I was like, okay, you're going to go here. So that's the spread. I hope everyone is having a warm holiday filled with love and cheer, and honestly, whatever you need, whether that's spending time with your family or being or taking time for self-care. And I hope that um, that the end of 2024 treats you well, and that you have a happy holidays. And to my friends who celebrate Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I believe has already happened. Sorry, I should know that, but I don't. But to my friends who celebrate the other holidays, I hope that you have a happy holidays. And real quick, this is only relevant for when this video comes up. Dash of Sun will be having a Boxing Day sale. If it's incorrect, I will put a little pop up. And that will be your last chance to get this kit, because she will be doing a new format, a reformatting of the kits. So if there's any kits that she released this year in 2024 that you like, definitely hit up the Boxing Day sale, mention me for my freebie. I do not know at this point in time if you can use my code to stack, but give it a shot. But I'm gonna guess, since it's a Boxing Day sale, probably not. But you can always try, or you can always just use my code at another time. And that is the video. Here is the flyover. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you left the video a like, leave a comment with any of your thoughts down below, and I would be so happy if you joined my little channel here by subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next one. And again, one last opportunity to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I hope that the new year treats you well. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!